That's been very successful for us as well. And then helpful for us is to shape our thinking to think more campaign driven and what is the life of the event before and after. That works really well. And our sales teams, they like that approach because they're tapped into so many different points in the journey.
The best event marketing companies, event marketing teams, they are involving sales. They are getting them on board. They are taking them through what that process looks like.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about how your events work with sales and marketing, that the combination of the conversations with customers, the post show, what it looks like, the leads, the information back and forth, and how sales and marketing work together.
Yeah, we try to build full out campaigns around every trade show, right? So it's not just an event, it's a trade show. We treat it like a campaign. So what is the buildup into the campaign? How do we promote our activity that we're doing at that campaign? How do we get people to register for our networking events? All of that stuff leading up to the actual campaign/trade show. And then what the experience is, boots on the ground. What does our booth look like? What kind of activity are we doing at the booth? And then afterwards, how are we following up with all these people that we interact with? Short answer, because I can talk about that for hours, but short answer, I think, is we don't look at our events or our trade shows as just events. We look at them as a full out campaign. And that campaign, like the event is 1 or 2 days, but the campaign is probably like a good 3 months. That's been very successful for us as well. And then helpful for us is to shape our thinking to think more campaign driven and what is the life of the event before and after. That works really well. And our sales teams, they like that approach because they're tapped into so many different points in the journey. And that gives them a little bit more opportunity to interact with and have conversations with some of their contacts. Like it's not just I'll be at this event, see you in 2 months. It's a buildup and they appreciate that. They appreciate that partnership with marketing to help them with that buildup.
Selfishly, I loved what you just said because I have been just like pumping content out there with both terms, channel and campaign, like just trying to press the idea that if you are not treating your trade shows and events like a channel, and if you are not operating them and executing them like a campaign, you are completely missing, in my opinion, just completely missing because the best are doing it.
What's your message aside from your company's mission or with their typical message? What is the message for that conference, that trade show? Again, it's its own campaign. You got to look at it that way. And so that's the value that teams see in event marketing. When you're looking at events as not just, again, logistics, people getting flights, hotel rooms, like all that stuff is great. But when your sales team can see your events team truly operating as marketing professionals and you go to them and you say, yeah, we're going to Shop Talk, but this is our message at Shop Talk this year. But wait a minute, our message at MRC was so-and-so because so-and-so is going to be there. At Shop Talk, these people are going to be there. So our message at Shop Talk is XYZ. They love that. They eat that stuff up.
Yeah. They eat it up because it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it produces results. I spoke with, her name is Erin McElroy. You should connect with her if you're not. She's on LinkedIn. She works for IBM. She has a super cool background. She has like a product background, but then turned into events. She has a role very similar to yours with IBM. And we talked about this exactly. Channel, campaign, setting this up. And she described it so similar to you, but the word that she used to me, she said story and narrative. She said, we go into every show with a story and a narrative. And she said, the other way, we're talking messaging and positioning. Absolutely. How do we want to position this product and us to our audience at this show? And it's, to me, fascinates me how many people are not thinking this way, yet how many people are and doing such a good job.
And it's such basic. I don't want to say basics. I don't want to dummy it down, but in many ways it is basic. Yeah, we are going to change the video assets on our booth between conferences. Yeah, we are going to change some of the logos on our booth between conferences because it's a different audience. And when you do have a little bit of overlap between two conferences and there was one person at one conference and now they're at another conference and they see the changes that you've made to your experience between the two conferences, it's impressive. Because it shows that you were thoughtful and intentional in what you're doing. And it's not just a matter of, okay, pack this bad boy up and send it on to the next conference. No, there's intention behind everything that we do.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Pack this bad boy up and send it to the next one.
And it could just be resources. Some companies are cutting back and you don't have the resources and you don't have the budget to change between every conference. But man, if you can, you've got to. You definitely have to.
Yeah. Where do you feel like you're finding the most success at your trade shows and your events? Is it something specific? Is it a style of engagement? Is it a way that you're creating experience? Is there something in particular you feel like you do really well?
I won't give away like too much, but here's what I will say. At Riskified, quality definitely trumps quantity. Take that as you want, but that is our sweet sauce. Quality over quantity. Again, we are so into being intentional, thoughtful, having our goals when we go to these conferences, knowing who we need to get in front of, knowing how we want to get in front of them. Definitely quality over quantity. I'll just say this. There's one trade show that I recognized when I started that we are over investing in and we don't need to. Because regardless of whether we invest X or Y, we're still getting in front of the right people. We're still meeting with the right amount of people. We're still having those conversations. And so we're going to reevaluate our investment moving forward, but quality over quantity.
You know what's cool about what you just said? The quality over quantity is good, but when you said that you're over investing in a trade show, so what I would ask anybody listening to this, or if this ends up as a clip, is, and you're watching, is, are you doing the work as an event marketer at a company to be able to even go to leadership and say, hey, we're over investing?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about that. Well, we were just talking about promotions and people recognizing talent. If you want to be that person inside of a big company or a brand, that's an absolute no-brainer. If you're doing the work like you're doing, you can go to someone and say, hey, by the way, we're over investing here. I need to make a few changes. I'm going to check something out, but I want you to be aware we may make a big change here.
Absolutely.
And someone's going to be like, oh, wow. Like, that's great. I mean, we didn't know.
Because it's not always, I need more. Sometimes it's, hey guys, I need a little less. Yeah. And they respect your finance team, man. You go to them and you tell them, guys, we don't need as much of an investment. And it's not to say you want to give them back the money, but it just
they think you're joking.
But it goes to show them that, wait a minute, he's thinking strategically. He's not thinking just give me money. He's thinking, give me money, but I want to place it in the right buckets. And after every conference, we have a debrief with our attendees and our key stakeholders for that different conference, trade show, whatever. And these are the tough questions we ask. Did we need X? Need Y? How was X? How was Y? We ask those questions, we reevaluate, and we make changes. You have to.
Yeah, it's really good.